All right, let's talk about that moment of truth every creator faces, your very first prototype test. This is where your big idea finally steps out of your head and into the real world. So how do you make sure that moment gives you amazing insights instead of just, confirming what you already think? Let's dive in.
Look, you've spent weeks, maybe even months, completely immersed in this design. To you, every button, every menu, every little interaction, it all feels totally obvious. And of course it does, you built it. But the real test, the only one that matters, is what happens when a total stranger sits down with it for the first time.
And to figure that out, we have to talk about something really important that every single one of us deals with. We're going to call it the designer's blind spot.
It's a simple idea, but it's so true. When you're the one who designed the house, you know all the secret doors and the quirky shortcuts. You've got all this background knowledge that a first-time visitor just doesn't have. It's like trying to read the label from inside the bottle. You just can't do it. And that is exactly why we have to test.
And when we're testing, we're not just looking for little typos or things that look a bit off. Now, we're on the hunt for much deeper hidden flaws. Things like usability problems, that classic, where am I supposed to click now moment. We're looking for confusing flows where a user gets totally lost going from screen A to screen B. We're looking for functional weaknesses, stuff that just plain doesn't work the way someone expects. And maybe the biggest one of all, those huge gaps you completely missed because, in your mind, the path forward was just so clear.
Okay, so we know this blind spot is real. How do we get around it? Well, we have to build a special place, a controlled environment designed for one thing and one thing only, discovering the truth. It's time to create our Truth Lab.
And the main activity in this lab is what we call round one testing. Now, I want you to focus on two words here: observe and authentic reactions. This is not the time to sell your design or to be a teacher. It's all about making a space where you can capture what people really do and think when they see your work for the first time.
So how do you set this lab up? It's really just 3 simple steps. First, the environment has to be calm, focused, and the same for every single person you test with. That way, your data is actually reliable. Second, you have to stick to your plan. Come prepared with a script and a clear set of tasks to keep everything on track. And third, and this one is absolutely crucial, you guide users with scenarios, not answers. You never say, click the big blue button. Instead, you say something like, okay, show me how you'd add something to your shopping cart. Big difference. All right, your lab is ready, your user is sitting down. Now comes the absolute hardest but most critical part of your job. It's our golden rule. Just watch.
See, in a test session, you've got a choice. You can be the helper, and it's our natural instinct, right? We see someone struggling, we want to jump in and save them. But every single time you give a hint, you've just ruined that piece of data. The other role, the right role, is the observer. You stay quiet, you stay neutral. You let the user struggle. Because that struggle, my friend, that struggle is pure gold. It's the most valuable insight you could ever hope for.
Seriously, this quote should be your mantra. Write it on a sticky note. The goal is to see what people do when you are not there holding their hand. That is the only way you'll ever know if your design can actually survive in the wild.
And when you really commit to being an observer, something amazing starts to happen. You stop just seeing little problems here and there, and you start seeing the bigger patterns. This is how you transform a simple assumption into a game-changing insight.
You have to remember, your prototype isn't just a collection of pixels and buttons. It's a physical embodiment of dozens, maybe hundreds, of assumptions you've made. I assume people will get what this icon means. I assume this process makes perfect sense. Well, testing is where those assumptions get a serious reality check.
And here's what that journey looks like in practice. It all starts with a hypothesis. Something like, we think our new navigation menu is way clearer. Sounds awesome in a team meeting, right? But then comes the observation in your Truth Lab. The user stops. They hesitate. You can see the confusion on their face, and bam, that's the revelation. Your assumption was just proven wrong. And you haven't failed, not at all. You've just been handed a crystal clear roadmap of exactly what you need to fix.
And that whole cycle of discovery, of turning your best guesses into hard evidence, that's what moves your project forward. Which brings us to our final section, moving toward a truly user-ready product.
This is the ultimate mindset shift you have to make. A user getting stuck is not a failure of the user. It's not even really a failure of your design. It is a gift. It is a specific, valuable clue that points you right to the problem area. Every moment a user is confused is a step closer to making things clear. Every wrong click is a step toward making a product that is intuitive, refined, and actually ready for the world.
So I'll leave you with this one question. You've poured all of your ideas and your assumptions into this thing you've created. Now it's time to be quiet, to watch, and to really, truly listen. What hidden truth is your prototype just waiting to tell you?